All right, fifth graders, I love this lesson. I think this is super fun. Trying to find combined volume of prisms. Some of you will see this, well, all of you will see this on Study Island as composite. Let me move my camera. There you go. Composite volume. So basically, we're just taking two rectangular prisms and kind of pushing them together to create a more unique shape. In the last lesson, we were just doing one shape at a time, but again, it's just like if I were to take this and bump it up against this one to have a combined shape, I would just find A, find B, and then add them together. So that's what we're going to do here. The trickiest part is deciding on how to break it. There is no wrong answer, though. There's two different ways you can solve this problem. In fact, I should probably grab a pencil and show you both ways. But I'm going to break it horizontally, so I have a top and a bottom, or I'm going to break it front to back and break it vertically. All right, let me go grab a pencil. Ariel is thinking of a three-dimensional figure that is made by combining two rectangular prisms. What is the volume of this three-dimensional figure? Solve this problem any way you choose. So first, we are going to take this shape, take this dimension, and go straight back. In doing that, I now have a top piece, A, and a bottom piece, B. Now, the fun part. You gotta do a little investigative work to figure out what is the length, what is the width, and what is the height of just shape B. So I'm never going to use 7. Why? Because 7 was broke. This dimension I split. Okay? So this one let's start with B. This dimension that I underlined is pretty obvious. So my length is 4. My width is 6. And then I had to find my height. But remember, it's not 7. It's not the whole way up. So I look here at my height. This one's not labeled. But in rectangular prisms, the opposite side is equal and parallel. So parallel and congruent. So my height is 2 centimeters. Now for A, I have to do the same thing. So I have to find the length, the width, and a height. It's always easy to find a vertex. A vertex is a point where three dimensions come together. I did that here kind of. Here's my vertex. And I need to find a length, a width, and a height. So my height, again, is not 7. My height, opposite sides are parallel and congruent. Parallel meaning they run in the same direction. Congruent meaning equal. So my height for this one is 5 centimeters. My width, opposite side parallel and congruent, is 4 centimeters. And then my width right here is 2 centimeters. Now that I found the dimensions for both A and B, I can solve. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 5 is 40 centimeters cubed. 4 times 6 is 24. 24 times 2 is 48 centimeters cubed. And then finally, I just have to do A plus B. So the top plus the bottom is equal to 88 cubic centimeters. Actually, I was right. Centimeters cubed. So now I want to show you what happens if you split it a different way, because there's more than one way to solve these problems. I'm going to show you both, and I want you to have both in your book. So instead of following this dimension back to cut it top and bottom, you can follow this dimension down, and now you have a rectangular prism in the back and one in the front. So I'm going to label this A and B, B for back, B for bottom, and write out my equations. Again, this is how I expect you to solve these. I need an equation for A, an equation for B, and then a total when you add them in the end. Okay, so this dimension was broke right here. 6 is no longer being used, but I have to look at other dimensions to figure out what I need here. So here's a vertex. Here is the length. Here's the width, and here's the height. My length, opposite sides are parallel and congruent, is 4 centimeters times my width, opposite side parallel and congruent, is 4 centimeters again, times my height, opposite sides parallel and congruent, so 2 centimeters. For B, B is the back here. I need to find a vertex, and now I need to find length, width, and height. So my height, or let's go with length first. The length is 4 centimeters times my width is 2 centimeters, and then my height of this whole back shape is 7. 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is 56. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. I could also do 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 4 is 32. But either way is fine. And then my last step is to just add A and B, which is 88 centimeters cubed. So on both, I got the same answer. I just wanted to show you that you can split it 2 different ways. This is a tricky, harder, longer lesson, but I love it. It's really fun. The book has a couple of examples, and then once you get rolling and you feel like you're doing pretty well, I'll give you some more challenges to solve. Look back. How did you separate the solid into simpler rectangular prisms? Write the dimension of each prism. Boom. Already done above. So, you're ready to move on to the lesson essential question. Let's go.